everybody, Chris here again. Thanks for tuning in. Today we are on FIRE, but not the kind that you think. F.I.R.E, Financial Independence, Retire Early. Great acronym. I didn't make it up, unfortunately. I wish I did. But it refers to a movement that's been around since about the 1990s, and it refers to a goal that's been around since the dawn of time. Retiring early, getting out of the rat race, more time to spend with friends, family, doing the hobbies that you love. Very aspirational goal, but it can be attainable with the right discipline and the right execution. So what does this movement suggest that we do? Well, they have a number of recommendations to achieve it. One is to save 50% of your net income. That's the money that actually hits your accounts after taxes are paid. 50% of that figure is a very tall order. Obviously, saving early, saving often as much as you can, investing as wisely as you can, and monitoring it over time, that's the obvious classic advice that we give to everyone. It just makes sense. You save more, you save often, you put it aside as early as you can, as often as you can, you're going to be in good shape, right? They put a very high number to that in order to get out early. Now, that may not be achievable for many because we have more expensive lifestyles, or we've already, set the bar at a certain point. So what are some other suggestions that they have that might be a little bit more reasonable for the majority of folks? Well, here are some. One is don't spend your pay raises. I love that suggestion because if you're already used to living at a certain lifestyle expense level or standard of living, and you get a 3, 5, 10% raise or what have you, then it's a little bit easier to say, well, I'm just going to keep my lifestyle here, keep our expenses here, and not upgrade anything. We'll just take that extra money and put it aside as if we never got it. That is a great plan. I find that to be very achievable. Very similar to my suggesting folks reinvest their tax refund if you get one, because it's almost like found money. So great suggestions there. The next is to seek out some other sources of income. And that could be passive or active sources, whatever they may be, but getting a side hustle, turning your hobbies into monetized activities, whether you're a great writer or very crafty, or you have a little bit of extra time, mow some lawns on the weekend, right? Whatever we used to do in high school. All of those things can be great suggestions to get a little bit more money in the door that you might be able to set aside and save and achieve these goals early, right? And certainly there's investment types that have a little bit more passive income as well that we can talk about too. So let's have a discussion. The next is be mindful of your expenses. And that can be things like your streaming services and all these different things that we subscribe to that we get caught up in every month, and these little $5 here and $10 there. They certainly increase our monthly expenses a lot. So let's get a handle on those. But it also refers to investment expenses, right? We want to make sure we have the most optimal, cost-effective mix of the things that we're investing in. That's why we might mix up things like individual stocks, individual bonds, exchange traded funds, and mutual funds, each of which has different characteristics and different operating expenses. We want to be mindful of those and get a good handle on them to make sure that we have the most effective mix. Next, investing in the right types of accounts. Because if you're going to retire in your 30s, 40s, or early 50s, then we may not want to tap those retirement accounts, because if you do tap something like a 401k or an IRA prior to reaching the magic age of 59 and a half, then the IRS might levy a 10% additional penalty on those withdrawals simply because you're not old enough to be tapping them in their eyes, right? So we want to make sure we have additional sources of liquidity to utilize prior to reaching that magic age if you're going to retire early. Now, all of these are wonderful suggestions, and in your case, if you want to see if this is achievable and attainable, then let's have a conversation. Let's put a plan together and strategize, make sure we have the right pieces in play in order to achieve that. So if you want to get fired up, give us a call. Thanks for tuning in.